it is your journey, and we can't force a process, and we can't force someone to move faster than they have written to move. Hello. How was your week when I came to visit?
I would say splendid.
It
Miraculous.
it is the 1st of February, and we spent from the 13th of January till the 19th of January together. I came down to see you in the beautiful coffee district of Colombia in the city of Pereira. And the reason I felt called to come and visit, even though you had invited me for a long, long time, many times, long time ago. But the reason I felt called this time was to help you recenter yourself. Think you had at least a year of some considerable challenges, and the detours into a way of perceiving that caused some significant overwhelmment and a little bit of extreme anxiety that would lead to panic and sometimes some significant depression. So I needed to come take care of you a little bit, and I had a plan to do some books, and I thought that if we could study those books together for that week, and if we could just be on a natural schedule and enjoy the beautiful weather and take your mind off of the things that were contributing to the overwhelmment, that you would rise more readily. So shortly after I booked my flight, I booked my flight in the middle of November, and I asked you to hang on, I'm on my way. It dawned on me that I should bring you a Magnosphere. This is one of my Magnospheres. It is a home magnetic resonance therapy device that helps to balance the autonomic nervous system. And from everything that you had been dealing with and that we had really been discussing over the course of 12 months, kind of from November 2024 to October 2025, it was obvious to me that your nervous system was significantly in duress. So this episode of Planet Juliana is about balance and harmony, and about my beautiful trip to come and see you. So we're gonna have a bunch of videos of us having a wonderful time, being a little silly, hanging off the back of a Jeep, going up a mountain to beautiful therapeutic hot springs in San Vicente, about an hour up the mountain from Santa Rosa, and introducing this this modality, this therapy of magnetic resonance therapy, of full body immersion magnetic resonance therapy. So it's February 1st. You have been in your Magnosphere for a couple of weeks now. Do you feel a difference?
Oh, wow. Yeah, first of all, I think one of the most healing things for me was just to see that you brought this Magnosphere all along and helped me build it here and assemble it here. And so there was already a lot of faith established, even though I hadn't read about the science or research behind it, which I'm normally that type of person, wanting to analytically figure out why it works. And this time I just felt in that surrender mode of I trust it works, and then I'll read the science if I feel moved to.
Yeah.
And so I have been on it for an average of 2 hours a day.
I noticed, just the few days that I would come in and that I'd come to get you or whatever, that there was a huge shift in your energy level.
Hmm.
Um, Motivation, of course, because as our energy increases, we're spurred to action. And I think I know I told you once I came back home that I was detaching from the ultimate outcome of how much farther you would take your journey of healing, because it is your journey, and we can't force a process, and we can't force someone to move faster than they have written to move.
Right.
And the settings, those protocols that you mentioned, the A protocol really has a wide range of conditions and situations
Yeah.
that benefit from it.
Right.
Um, not just neurological stuff, not just headaches and anxiety, and general stress, but also muscular stuff, and stuff like whiplash, stuff like burns, or wounds in the skin. So that's the A1. It's also used for general inflammation, it's used for pain, and it's used for blood pressure. The K2 is the one for depression. And sometimes, we're all on that spectrum of, we're all on the spectrum. Pick the issue, and we're all dabbling a tiny bit or a tiny bit more. There are times I feel depressed. There are times that I set the system to K2. There are times where I set it to the O for not for addiction, but yes, the O protocol is for addiction. And it's such an interesting thing that it'd be like, well, what are you addicted to? You're not addicted to any substance. It's the addiction to endogenous ligands, ligand. Watch, I'm mispronouncing it. Molecules, substances that the body produces within, neurotransmitters, peptides, these chemicals that the body makes, and that there are receptor sites in our cell membranes for these. Every emotion has a biochemical substance that the body produces, and when you expose the body, you expose the cells to a certain chemical produced by the body, if there comes a situation, a point where that substance is reduced in its production, the cells will begin to demand the situation where the substance increases in its production again. So it is known as peptide addiction. So we go on the addiction settings when we are addicted to certain emotions. And it's not just for substances, it's not just for alcohol, it's for dependency of any sort. And then the morning one that I would like you to start using is one called P1, and that has stimulating effects on the nervous system to help with clarity and with focus and with attention and with memory. Because sometimes you mentioned, in the cutest way. Where's my phone? You see my phone? So, but to make light of it, you know what I mean. So the magnosphere is essentially these two big coils here. They're within this tent-like fabric. There is copper wire, and these two copper wires get attached to that black box over there. There's a laptop over the sitting on top of the black box. The black box generates an electric current. It runs the frequency of the device, and the frequency modulates in its pattern and its intensity. The human body has emissions. It seems to give off electromagnetic signals, and cells of the muscles, cells of the bones, the nervous system cells, brain cells, they all communicate with each other within the same tissue via electromagnetic communication. It's called intercellular, between cells, intercellular electromagnetic communication. And of course, anywhere there is electricity, there is voltage. If there's not enough voltage, there is going to be a disruption in the quality of communication within the tissue, within the system. So essentially, the magnosphere generates an electromagnetic field that is biologically resonant. It is exactly like the tissue that it is intending to offer electrons to. So it's an electron donor. There are many other ways of soaking up electrons that don't have anything to do with tools or devices. Running water, standing on the shore, on the beach, with your feet in the water and the waves going back and forth, and the tide ebbing and flowing, and you standing there, that's an electron donor. Moving water, we were at the hot springs. We were in one of the only thermal rivers in the world at San Vicente, and standing in that water as it's moving, it gives off electrons. The night air is highly charged with electrons. So taking a walk in the evening, at night, is very energizing, and it's energizing in a way that is not. It's not frenetic. It's not. It really gives you. It's not like coffee. It's not like a stimulant. It gives you energy without putting you on edge. Alkalized minerals, drinking water that is rich in alkalizing minerals, in potassium and magnesium, and that balance. If you look at alkaline water that's sold at the store, and it says the pH is 9.0 pH, what does that really mean? It gives you a boost in electrical activity. It increases your electroconductivity. So the magnosphere is that. It's also a pattern interrupter, because it can definitely, you can heal yourself. You in fact, that's all you're doing. Nothing outside of you is healing you. It is the freedom of decision and the freedom that you have to be able to change your frequency and rate of vibration that increases the flow of power, of energy from your source to you, from source energy to you as an extension of it. So all of these things that we have, all of these things that seem to be outside of us, that we are using to heal us and to medicate ourselves, they are catalysts But ultimately, it is our faith in them that heals us. Some people don't believe that. They need the pill. They need the surgery. They need the device. They need, whatever. Which sounds kind of silly that I'm telling you about the magnosphere, and that I'm telling you that your belief in anything is what turns it into a source of benefit. But that's the truth. You are the placebo. There are people who can sit in the magnosphere. It is running, it's modulating its frequency. It is, it's mimicking, the voice for healing, and they can block it. That's that free will. You are free to block well-being anytime. And really, I mean, we do it a lot. We block well-being a lot. And to me, well-being, if you capitalize the W, hyphenated, capitalize the B, well-being is another word for God to me. It's another word, for source energy. It has no opposite. And if it feels like it is absent, it is because we are using our free will to pinch ourselves off from the awareness of its presence, always, of its constant ever presence. So I am happy that you have this pattern interrupter that I do believe you called into your experience. That's another way of me saying that you needed. I thought to myself, if I could leave you this little collection of books from my personal collection, and if I could leave you this magnosphere for about 5 or 6 months, that I would have done physically what I had written to do where an intervention of sorts was concerned. And I think that it's working. And I'm very happy that it's working. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for us as, in our beautiful, divinely appointed earthly relationship. And I'm happy for all the people who you touch, with your thoughts, with your work, with your actions, whether it's your family, whether it's your father, your aunts, your godchildren. So I believe what I was just saying, Mari, is how happy I am that your healing is going to affect so many other people because of how polarized to service to other selves you are. So that makes me happy.